Make sure you turn down your volume, right?
It's down.
I've got to make sure mine's down.
Okay.
So we'll see. We wait for about 50 again. Right?
Yep.
Yes. Happy Friday, everybody.
I got 9.
Happy Friday to 9 people.
I didn't even get there yet. Hold on.
$13.
Oh, there we
I could hear you in my head.
go.
I have my Alexa glasses on.
Out, we're at 18.
See, when I get the chat, I lose the number of people that are tuned in.
Really? I see it because I have us in the, up on top and
Up,
then the
yeah.
chat on the bottom.
Oh, I see what I have to do. Okay, love technology.
Hello,
Hi,
technology.
Irene. Hi, Gerald and Ruth.
You know, my next thing is a magic mirror, right? You know, the
I was thinking of getting that mirror exercise thing. Is that what you're talking about, magic mirror?
from Romper Room. the
Oh.
magic mirror.
Romper room.
31.
Getting closer. Do you have plans this weekend?
Family coming in.
I have an event. I got to drive down to Brewster tomorrow.
Brewster. It's my
Yep.
old stomping grounds.
I'm just gonna work on the garden. I think that's my plan.
Oh, we're at 35. Hi, Linda. Hi, Ellen. Karen. Lisa. Cheryl. Oh, we got all the women are on tonight. I saw a guy in there somewhere. Gerald. I saw Gerald at the beginning.
Yep.
Hi, Larry. Okay, 52, ladies. Let's get it going.
53. Sal.
All We're official. So it is Friday night, and this is the 3M show. So we don't really have too much to update with you, of course, but we do have a couple things that we just want to run through. We want to thank everyone that is doing the flyers. We have Len, of course, and Mabel with a beard, Len and Len. Pamela Nabel, Mark Gordon, Sonia, and Elizabeth, thank you for what you guys are doing. Thank you for recruiting your friends to help you. This is phenomenal. We're very happy that you guys are getting out there and getting creative with what you're doing. So we love to see that. It's having an impact. So do know that. We will probably be, we are designing another flyer this weekend because there is a DC37 rally next week. And if you guys are able to get out there to City Hall, was that the 15th, I think?
The 15th.
50.
Then we can give you the flyer to pass out for that event, to pass out downtown. So we will probably finish that probably for next week, early next week, Monday, Monday, Tuesday. We have Joe and Madeline, you guys are both dealing with that storm down there, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So so that's got to be your priority. We'll deal with the flyer next week. What else? What else we got?
Well, so last week's winner has not been contacted yet. I sent an email. I have not heard back. I will try to call the person tomorrow. Last time I tried to call someone, I was only able to get them via email. So I tried email this time. Now that's not working, but the winner for this evening, the initials are MB. So I will make an attempt tomorrow to reach out to both last week's winner and this week's winner.
Very,
I'm hoping to make contact.
very good. What else do we got?
All right, we've determined that Mike Rowick is not a woman.
We have a few men on tonight.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
they're starting to come in. They're starting to come in.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through the emails right before we went live, and I noticed, so I know Marianne sends out the newsletters and we try to keep people up to date. And I know there was somebody who had sent a response, and we understand that some people cannot opt out of, we push the opt out because we know, again, we don't trust the city, on their sneakiness. And we know there are people, we tell people to still do it. Actually, the link is still up and running, so we know they haven't taken it down. And I still get people who ask, and I give it to them, or it's in the email, and they do it, and then they get a response that they've got a reply that it worked. And so again, but somebody seemed a little upset that they're like, well, they can't opt out, and this is crazy. And
Why can't they opt out? What was that about?
what was that? Well, listen, they're having a problem, and they're afraid that if this crazy plan goes into effect, or we get charged $191, that they can't afford it. And yes, we understand that. But again,
So it's not that they can't opt out, it's that they can't afford to opt out.
correct. They can't afford to opt out. And we understand that, but it just you got to understand, we send these emails as a push, because believe it or not, there are people till this day, and I mean to this day, to this hour, to this second, that don't even know that this is happening. You would think that it's almost a year. And people are still really aren't aware or know the full, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm so tired. The full extent of what is going on out there. So, we get it. So even
Well,
if,
because so many people still think that we won, that this is over, but it's really not over. We're far from over at this point.
my cat is just.
No, I mean, if we, fortunately, we were successful and people are not being charged $191.57
Right.
per Medicare eligible person. But true, the fight is not over yet.
All right, there isn't an earthquake here. My cat is rubbing up against my lap.
So Denise Marbury is saying that there is a $30 copay.
I was just going to ask you about that.
On HIP-VIP. See, we're not familiar with every plan. So that's important for us to know. Thank you.
So actually, I want to ask Denise, so you have HIP VIP and you pay a $30 copay each time you see a specialist, which has been a lot lately. So I'm assuming you do not pay a copay for a PCP, your primary care, but you pay a $30 copay for any specialist. Is that correct?
We'll wait for her answer. So Karen says, I received a bill from the provider charging me both $15 copay and deductible. When she contacted the provider, was told that I needed to appeal to GHI provider is just going on EOB received from GHI. And I think they are right that it isn't their problem. Please let the lawyers know this is happening.
So what you're saying is that GHI is not paying their portion of the bill? That's what it sounds like to me.
I believe it.
I mean, if you've exhausted your deductible let's say your last visit exhausted your deductible, then they're charging, you for
At
the
least
copayment.
for this service, she says, at least for this service.
Okay. All right, Denise is saying she's been paying a $30 copay since she turned 65. I thought it had to do with Medicare. But Denise, the question is, are you paying that just for specialists or also for your primary care doctor? If you could just answer that, we'd appreciate it. Mary Krufke Meyer, I've been finding that they are not going for my secondary and sending me crazy bills. You know, we've been hearing this particularly this last week or so. So, the question is there something wrong with Emblem Health GHI system where they're not, I don't know what could be wrong with it, and Joanne Lee says the same thing.
Joanne, you're having the same problem as Mary?
Okay, so Denise says yes for specialists, PCP is still free. So the $30 copays on hip VIP are for specialists. Joanne is saying yes, same problem as Mary. So, I mean, as far as handling that, I would say call
Emblem.
Health and ask them why they are not paying their portion of the bill. It could be a coding error. A lot of times it's a coding error. That's the problem. Okay.
Sometimes the crossover for Medicare not set right at Medicare. So that's another very good point, Janet. Thank you. Sometimes you need to make that call to Medicare to make sure that they know that that is your secondary that's on file, because then the crossover goes directly from them directly to your secondary. So if you're getting frustrated with Emblem on this, make sure that Medicare has your secondary in the system. You can log into your Medicare and see that your secondary is actually on the website. Otherwise, and actually they've been pretty helpful too. They have a live chat that is sometimes open on the weekends. So you might even look at that if you don't want to wait till the weekend. But first thing to do is log into your Medicare, make sure that you're showing that your senior care is your secondary, because then that means it should be in place.
And yeah, Joanne Lee, it used to be 80-20. Now it's 80% Medicare, $15 copay to the retiree. And then if there's anything left over, then GHI picks it up.
You're telling them to submit. That's proper, Mary.
Denise Marbury, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was also told that I wouldn't need to pay the $191 to opt out because I was already in a MAP. Surprise to me. That is correct. If you are in HIP VIP and this goes through, you do not have to pay the $191.57. That is also the case for Aetna. That is not the case, however, for any of the other plans. Every other plan besides Aetna and HIP VIP will be charged the $191.57 if they win. And yes, HIP VIP is a MAP and Aetna is a MAP also.
Denise, when did you go into HIP VIP?
This is so creepy having this halfway silent conversation.
Like
You want to
having a
try
question.
something we never tried before? We could try pulling them into the screen. You want to try to do that?
We could.
Hey,
You know how I
Denise,
am with technology.
this might freak you out, and we never did this before. So I could see that I can actually pull you into our conversation and put you into our chat with us. So
Okay, so Denise was in HIP since you joined the city.
oh, so that's interesting.
Okay, so my Facebook Live is frozen, so I'm not seeing any more questions.
Denise, I'm gonna try to click this button and see if I could drag you into our chat with us. So you'll instead of 3 of us, it'll be 4 of us. So hold on a second. Let's see if you get a notice that says, hey, they want you to come on screen, click yes. I don't know how we'll get you off of it. You may just be with us till the end of the night. So we'll figure that part out. If it'll let me do it.
Lisa, you don't want to be on screen? Why not join us?
It's funny because it says click it, but I click it and nothing happens.
She was only going to bring in Denise, Lisa, so you don't have to worry.
Okay.
All right, so Barbara Molino, same thing, had a problem that my bill was not sent over to Emblem Health. I called Medicare. They said that my secondary was not listed on her account. They told me to call Emblem and tell them to do
An
them to do
automatic
automatic
crossover.
crossover. Okay, which I said they put the ticket in to do that. It will take 30 days to hit the system. They gave me a reference number to use when I go to the doctors until 30 days are over.
How absurd is that?
I think there's some hokey nonsense going on. Magic 8 Ball says most likely.
I want to see what it really says, Michelle.
It said most likely. Hold on. And it says it again. It says most likely. Wait.
Hold it up to the camera, lady.
Yeah, I'm trying.
All right.
Lori O'Reilly says, do you know if OLR will open soon or if the in-person appointments, the emails do not seem to work? No answers. Any ideas how to contact them another way? So Larry, yeah, smoke signals. So I suggest you put in a Google search, contact the mayor and tell the mayor's office, you've been trying to reach OLR and no one answers their phones and they're not answering your emails. Would his office kindly like assist you? Let me know how that works for you. If you don't get an answer next week, do this today. That way, hopefully like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, someone reaches out to you. If not, reach out to one of us and we will help you get in touch with them.
Well, William is a little camera shy also, so he does not want to be on camera. Neither do I, William, but I don't have a choice.
Yeah, well, the camera next to Denise disappeared, so I can't pull her in.
Okay, Janet Buck, that loss of 80/20 is not a good precedent for the future. Can a judge make it correct to get back to original intention? We're working on it.
Well, Jean says the 80/20 is not lost. Often it's billing inefficiency and cross-billing.
Oh, no, but yes, but I know what Janet means. Janet's talking about the $15 copay. The $15 is eating up a lot of that 20%.
Janet Coburn, I checked with Medicare and my GHI senior care, both my Emblem Health or Empire is set up for the crossover. I hope the following makes sense to you. If Medicare applies part of the charge to my deductible, is that claim still supposed to be sent to the secondary insurance? If so, is the secondary supposed to pay the 20% of the entire amount Medicare approved or 20% of the balance after it is reduced by the Medicare deductible amount?
I'd say 20% of the balance.
After your $15 copay.
Well, yeah. So see, that happens when you get towards paying off the deductible. So you've got a bill that's higher than the balance left on your deductible. So they deduct the balance of the deductible. You have a remaining bill. The question is, are they charging you the $15 copay on the remainder of the bill? And does Emblem cover 20% of the original bill or the remainder of the bill? I'm going to say yes to both, that you're going to get hit with the $15 copay and that Emblem is only gonna pay 20% of the remainder of the bill.
Jean just said the copay sometimes eats up part of the 20%.
Oh, it most definitely does every
Yeah.
time you pay it, yes. George Puddin has a screenshot of his EOB that explains what they were talking about before with the copay and deductible. George, if you're able to scan that and email that to the organization, that would be helpful. Ladies, unless you have them already, have an EOB that explains the copay and the deductible.
From who? I know somebody sent me some stuff.
Okay, George, that'll work.
Denise was saying she was thinking of using her once in a lifetime to transfer to GHI. But since things, well,
I would wait.
you have to think very, very, what's the word? Think about that, hard about that, using your once in a lifetime. You know, it might, oh, I just got a photo. Okay. I understand you're getting tired of needing a referral and the authorizations, but you have to, you know, the once in a lifetime is a very closely guarded option. So if you can hang on until open enrollment at the very least to switch, that way you wouldn't have to use your once in a lifetime. GHI gets over like a fat rat. Yes, Barbara.
Yeah. Diane Spiker, if Medicare doesn't pay anything because of the deductible, Emblem doesn't pay anything. Emblem only pays if Medicare pays first. But it's proportional. Remember, you have a $200-something deductible with Medicare and a $50 deductible with Emblem Health. So if in Medicare you have your bill isn't satisfied, the deductible isn't satisfied, then yes, it gets that little part goes over to GHI to meet the GHI deductible. Denise Marbury, but I got so sick. So I'm waiting for the court case decision before I do anything. Need my doctors to get paid. Denise, I'm not understanding why your doctors won't get paid.
Okay, so I got the picture of the EOB that George sent, and he wants me to share it. However, I sent it to Michelle because maybe she could figure out how to get it into the chat.
Oh, no, that would be Mary. I can't get it into the chat.
Are you going to send it to me? I'll send it to Mary Ann also. I sent it to both of you. Maybe you can figure out how to get it in the chat.
Okay, let's see.
Technical things these people try to get me to do.
You sent that to me via Messenger?
Yes. Okay, amount billed, amount allowed, copay, deductible, Medicare payment, Medicare insurance, what my plan paid. That's very confusing.
I'm getting there. Give me a second.
Oh, this is very interesting. The amount billed is the amount your healthcare provider billed. The amount allowed is the maximum amount we pay under your plan.
Wrong screen. Hold on, I'm coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Amount billed, $754. This is the amount your healthcare provider billed for services. The amount allowed, $50.27, the maximum amount we pay under your plan. Was this a Medicare or was this was a Medicare? Oh no, this was a GHI. Copay is $6.41. This is the fixed dollar amount you pay when you visit a healthcare provider. Deductible. So you had $15.54, the amount you pay before we begin to pay for covered services. So that was the deductible that went towards GHI. Medicare payment. So Medicare paid $201.
Okay. So if you take the 20108 and you add the $50.27, you get $251.35. $251.35 is the amount that Medicare says can be charged or that they will pay, that it's the Medicare allowed amount. So of that $251.35, 80% is 20108 that Medicare paid, and 20% is $50.27. That's why it's saying that the amount allowed is $50.27. That represents the 20%. Now, handy dandy calculator. 15.27 minus.
Hey, Ellen, it is redacted. There's nothing showing, hon.
Okay, and then if you take the $50.27 and deduct from that the $6.41 copay and the $15.54 deductible, you're left with the $28.32, which is what they paid. So it looks as if you had $15.54 left to pay on your deductible. I don't know why the copay was prorated to $6.41 though. Does anyone else know?
Listen, I was still trying to figure mine out when I text you with it last week.
I wish I had a separate calculator. Let's see.
Ellen Kessler is saying, if you look at the back of that statement, it explains it. So, all right, well, at least we can figure out how the numbers add up at the very least. The only question I have is, how did they calculate the copay amount?
I'm gonna have to play with this one afterwards.
Ellen's saying maybe because you only pay the $15 after the deductible is met, but it hadn't been met yet, so it's not the full 15. That's what it sounds like, but I wonder how they come up with that number of $6.41. Williams says, I found the emblem EOB is much more confusing this year. They usually don't include the Medicare payments. Well, this one is including it, so that's helpful.
Okay, I think I figured it out.
Okay.
$28.32 is what the plan paid. $15.54 was the deductible. $6.41. Oops, shit.
I got it. I see what you're saying.
Okay, so if you add up $6.41, $15.54, and $28.32 is $50.27, and that equals the co-insurance.
Okay,
Figured out? Did you get it?
yep. Okay,
That's why.
hopefully everyone understands that.
Okay, so to make that pretty simple, the amount that they billed was $754. The amount allowed is $50.27. The copay that was left for him to pay was $6.41 because the deductible that he had to meet left was $15.54 and the plan paid $28.32. So if you add $28.32, $15.54 and $6.41, it equals up to the amount allowed of $50.27.
Thanks, George.
Hey, math.
That was a group project. Whew. You're making us struggle on a Friday night.
Joanne is saying that's not how it was explained before. I never paid any payment. I have been retired for 20 years. All of a sudden, they start nickel and diming us. Unacceptable.
Well, all I could say to you is we are working on that, so please keep the faith. So that should lead me to the last point I guess we need to make. Continue to pay your copays like we've been asking you to do, because at least at this point, I don't think it needs to be addressed, right? And we're trying to address this in the court. So I'm asking you, continue to pay them, stay on top of them so that you don't get behind. Keep track of how many you're supposed to be paying. So every time you go to the doctor, every time you have an x-ray, every time you have a blood test, each one of those should be a separate copay. Then, and then keep track of what you're actually paying. Because if we're able to fight this, it might help if we're able to get you reimbursed. And the only way we're going to know is if you kept track of it. And because I don't even know at that point, Emblem would be able to tell us either, but
Well,
we're asking you to.
they should based on that EOB.
They should.
Yeah.
They should do a lot of things, but
Ellen Belishuk is saying, but why isn't the copay $15? Ellen, that's because the deductible hadn't been met yet, so it was prorated. Now that the deductible has been met in full, the copays will be a full $15, unless the charge is under $15, which I've never seen, so. Gerald, if copays remain, a cap is needed. Makes you wonder why they didn't institute a maximum out-of-pocket expense.
because they were trying to discourage people from staying in senior care. That was the whole point. That's why they advertised that they put the cap in the MAP and not in senior care. That's why they put the premium in senior care. They were trying to discourage you from opting out of MAP. They were trying to make it as distasteful as they possibly could. So that's why. Oh my God, bring the 60s back. I know, Led. Janet, the single payer bill did not pass. It didn't come out of committee. We kind of figured it wasn't. It hadn't done that in 20 years. Give them time. Let them fix that bill and bring it back the right way. I can show you the next EOB, which will help her understand with the $15 copay.
I think she may get it now, but if you don't, Ellen, just let us know and George will provide us with the next one. John Paul Beckinet. We were trying to find your contact information, so glad to see this. I can't tell you how grateful I am. My wife wasn't forced on MAP. She gets close to $30,000 a month in infusions because of encephalitis from lupus. MAP would have given us a hard time. Unfortunately, I'm on the low end of the pension, so the copays hurt us. Close to $100 a month in $15 copays. And I don't understand, what I don't understand how is GHI Senior Care was able to change this in January from 0 copay to 15 now. She met her deductible early because she goes to the doctor so often. Then all of a sudden we started getting all these copays like crazy that we never received before. She had barely any out-of-pocket cost until January, but I understand the fight continues. It wasn't GHI that decided to institute the $15 copay. Would you like to take one guess as to who instituted the $15 copays?
Sorry, John. So there's a few things here, John. This was negotiated by our unions in the city, by our former unions and the city. They did this to us, okay? This was their method of saving money. What they don't understand is the impact that it has. So I actually have a couple of questions for you. If you would PM one of us, private message one of us with your phone number, we were trying to get in touch with you today. So there's that, and we'll discuss that when you call us. The second thing is if you want to talk with us, I am always looking for people to do a YouTube video on the issues to try to educate the unions and the actives. If you would like to do one with me, let me know. You can private message me or in the same email to one of us. We talk every day. So whoever you email, make sure that we are able to get in touch with you. Let me know if you're interested in that, and we will do that with you.
Ellen, yes, the copays are a bit ridiculous. They are adding up for people. Oh, William, I see what you're saying. The form does not show the Medicare allowed amount. It only shows what Medicare paid. So you have to do some math to get to the Medicare allowed amount.
So if you opted out and they get to enforce the map, will people still be able to change their mind because of financial situations? I believe they are going to have to give you that opportunity. They are going to have open enrollment will start in the fall. And it's unknown what will happen because while our case is on the fall term and September term, that doesn't mean it will be heard in September. It could be heard anytime during that term. So I can't really tell you what will happen. The city's going to have to be prepared at some point to either open the plans back up because they shut everything down last year. We just don't know. And I don't even know if Michelle Zapal knows. But
So let's see what it is.
But as soon as we do know, you will know too, but they will have to reinstitute the entire procedure all over again.
It's very doubtful.
I forgot what the question was, but okay.
The question was, if you opted out, and if they enforce the map, will people be able to change their mind because of their financial
Yes, yes. The Magic 8 Ball is full of poopies this time, okay?
No, I thought you asked about the court date in September or.
Oh, that makes sense. Then
That
the
makes
Magic 8 Ball was.
That's what you, right, that's what you were asking about the court date.
William, I don't know why you haven't been charged the deductible yet.
So, William, you say none of my wipes or my providers have charged us the deductibles yet, but one sent us a bill for the $15 copay. This is difficult to follow. So this is going to be my suggestion. Get a calendar, like even a desk calendar. Staples has them. They're really cheap. Every day that you have a doctor appointment or you had a test, denote it on the calendar. That way you have something in writing that shows that you went, it was your appointment, your wife's appointment, you had an x-ray, she had a blood test, whatever. And that would help you keep track of them, right? And so at the end of the month, there's like a little section at the bottom of that little Staples desk pad calendar. You can write how many you had, how many she had, right? You can even split it up by doctor appointment or blood work or x-rays or whatever. That way it'll help you, it will help you keep track of them. And then also note, keep a folder next to that desk calendar of any bill, any copays you've paid so that you can keep track of it that way. That'll probably be the easiest way and keeping everything in one place. Even if you have a habit like I do, I file my EOBs or I keep them online. Even if you just put a photocopy in the envelope or in the folder, so that way you have easy access to it. That might just keep it easy, in bookkeeping wise. You're not the first person to express that it's difficult to keep track of, especially when there's two of you and you have a lot of appointments. Do we have a court date in September? Denise, the answer is no. We just know that we are scheduled for the September term. Well, we haven't been given a date yet. Our documents aren't due until August. And I think once our briefs are filed, then
They have 9 days.
to give us a date.
No, I mean, the city has 9 days to respond.
That answers my question. Perfect. I'm so grateful to you all because it gives me a freaking headache. Girl, gives us a freaking headache too. Look, I got gray hair. Why did pension go down in May 2022? Something about with Pat, I believe that you were getting some assistance on this question from Mike Tambasco today.
Is she talking about TRS? That is TRS.
ERS, ERS.
Bears.
Why did pension go down in May 2022? Something about BRRRR and taking more withholding tax. Pat, I am not aware of BRRRR and pension issues, so you were going to have to take that up with BRRRR. Mary Miranda, I've been to 2 specialists at my primary care and I've not been charged a copay yet. So Mary, and for everybody else listening, it is very possible because you don't have new cards. When you have a card and you check in at the doctor's office, it's supposed to tell your provider that you're supposed to pay a $15 copay. But because you don't have a new card, the doctors don't really know to collect it up front from you. So now they have a choice. Either they process the bill and then they realize that they were supposed to get the copay because they're going to get a statement back from GHI that says less the $15 copay, that they realize they didn't collect from you, and then they're going to send you a bill. We're hearing some providers aren't charging people the copay they for whatever reason, and others are. It doesn't matter. You have to still count that in your mind that this is payable by you, like this is something you owe. So you have to keep track of that because at some point they may call it in and you're going to have to pay it. Given the expected large number of retirements because of the mayor now requiring city employees to work in person 5 days a week, despite high COVID surge, crime in New York City, and transportation issues, can we run another ad in the Chief in July? I was actually thinking about that. Well, board will have to take that up because that was what, like $1,000 ad? And we need to look at what our click rate was off of that ad before we make that determination. But that is a good point. I read that article this morning. I think that was in the Daily News. I agree with you. I think there will probably be a mass exodus continuing. Linda Levine Kronowitz, if you go to the doctor and have blood work done, is the copay going to be $15 or $30? Well, it would be 15. I believe it's 15 for the doctor and 15 for the blood work.
Well, yes. So that would be a total of $30.
Denise, that's exactly what I did. Love my Staples calendar. I know my mama used to keep a Staples calendar with everything on it. I actually still have her calendars because it has her handwriting on it. I have every appointment on my calendar and I mark it when I get the bill and when I get paid. I have hard copies of everything. Ellen, that's a perfect way of keeping things central. If you have several blood panel tests in one visit, is it just one charge of 15? Yes. Does blood work also get copay? I thought it was just the doctor visit. I believe it is a copay. Marilyn Giordano DiGiacomo. The unions are flip-flopping. That is probably why they are telling me that I can't get the optional drug plan unless I take MAP to discourage us, even though they originally said we could. Marilyn, I have to apologize. I know you messaged me and I know we were working on this, but actually I've been working on so much crap, I forgot what we were talking about. So if you would, either call me tonight or call me tomorrow after 9, that would be wonderful. And then I can kind of catch up with you where this is. I am not understanding why your union is or OLR is telling you that you cannot be, that the drug rider that you want to be in is attached to the map. That to me makes that makes no sense. And I might bring the girls in on this one because I think 3 brains are better than 1.
Not on a Friday night at 9:18 PM.
I have 2 separate binders to keep copies of each bill that's been paid. Oh, yeah, I know.
William, how are we doing with the legal bills? Well, you know, they're coming in and they're hot. You know, yes, please keep up the contributions. They are needed. Scott Whitaker, I was recently charged copay or deductible amount from 2019 and 2020. I would call the doctor's office, the billing office, and find out what they're doing.
That's a problem. So I need my first question would be, you said a copay or deductible amount. If it was a deductible amount, that's one thing. And you need to go back to the EOB and the doctor's office to determine that that was a Medicare and GHI deductible only. Because if you are GHI senior care, you had no copays going back to those visits. And I also do believe there's a period of time, and I'm not, without searching, looking it up, there is a period of time that they can't ask you for that. But once the bill is so old that they can't recoup it. But I would first clarify, what is it? Is it a deductible? And is it the annual deductible? Is it the Medicare deductible and GHI deductible? Assuming you're in GHI.
So yeah, part of the issue with the copays is that there are no copays listed on the card. So if the provider's office does not check the system, they're not aware that you have a $15 copay. When they submit the bill to Medicare and then it goes to GHI, that's when they find out that there's a $15 copay. So that leads to very late bills coming in from your providers for the copays.
Yeah, because remember, it takes some time to process these bills. So that's why you're seeing them later.
Scott, this year the deductible is $233 for Medicare and $50 for GHI. That is correct. William, you have doctors who write off the copays? I would like their names, please.
And you want to travel to New Jersey.
Yeah, hey.
Look out, William. I think Madeline's going to come up for a vacation. So I think that's about it. Did we answer everything?
I think so.
I think that's all. Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend. Tomorrow's another day, as I have been saying since August 13th.
Aw.
You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys, everybody,
Yes.
moderators, a board, lady.
Stay savvy, everybody. Hang in there and enjoy your weekend. Do something fun. Thank our moderators for everything that they're doing. All of our foot soldiers passing out flyers out there. We'll probably have another homework assignment for you, whoever's in the city and can get to Manhattan on the 15th to do that rally. Pass out flyers and let the unions know that you are there.
Yes.
So we'll update you next week, but take this time to be with your friends and family and enjoy your weekend. We love you guys and we will see you Monday.
Peace.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.